Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. I thought I'd talk to the camera. I haven't talked to the camera for a while. So I was watching a video yesterday actually, and I thought because I forgot what it's like to talk to a camera. Like I thought, how is he talking to the camera? How is he talking to a dull object that's just sitting there? But when you're looking in the lens, it is like talking to a person, really. So, and like sometimes things help. Like you just do things just to do things. You don't do it for anyone to see you do it, or you don't do it. You don't do it. You don't do it to make yourself. You do it to make yourself happy, I guess. It's sort of a little bit like that. I'm not. Yeah, sorry, my thoughts are a bit scattered at the moment. Maybe they're getting more scattered over time, but I've gone blank, sort of, actually, a little bit. But yeah, sometimes it pays. It pays to do the stuff that people aren't going to notice necessarily. Like, you got to show up. You got to do the work. One thing that forum Jed McKenna, the guy that died, not the real Jed McKenna, because the real Jed McKenna is on Wiseful Press or jedvader.com. One of the things that forum Jed McKenna said, he said, you got to do the work. Like you can't just say to yourself, I believe that no belief is true and that's it. Relax, nothing else left to do. You need to do the work in life. You need to process things. That's what the process of spiritual autolysis is all about, I guess. You need time to do things. You need to do things with your time as well. You need time to do things, and you need to do things with your time. That's where I like to dwell. I like to stay in the paradoxical area of society where you say that no belief is true, but really you're just saying that you believe that no belief is true, which is a paradox. You're saying that they're both true, and you personally, I love talking. I love talking the reality of life, but putting the ball in the other person's court, like I have done with my own life, and believes what I want to believe. Like what I think is true. That's the only authority in this life, really. You're the biggest authority in your life, so you got to. I think. Sam Harris with the free will sort of thing. I don't necessarily think that free will is an illusion. I think we do have some sort of control. I mean, and even if it's not, like, whatever, like, just because life is the way it is and things are going to happen regardless of whether you had any input doesn't mean that there's no free will. Like, I'm pretty sure that I'm doing this right now. It's pretty obvious. I just got a text. Did that computer select to get that text? No. The computer got the text by a human being who did it. Now, you could go down the rabbit hole, I guess, and say it's a simulation anyway, so it doesn't matter. But the only people that talk about simulations is when you're having a good time. When you're having a shit time, it's like, well, fuck, if it's a simulation, why did I program this shit time? Anyway, I'm ranting about bullshit. Don't even need to talk about it anyway, to be honest. But that's initially what I wanted to make this video about. It's probably what I would call this video. And amnesic actor will probably think it's about him, but it's not about him. This is me thinking before he made the comment the other day, which I don't care. I forgive you if whatever. There's no hard feelings, whatever. Anyway, the point is that why are you here? The video. Why are you here? Because that's essentially what you need to ask yourself. Like, what's your information diet? Why are you here? I wouldn't stay here if you don't like dwelling in the paradox of life. Like, what's the point? That's all I'm going to crap on about till the end of the time because of how profound it was, that insight to me. I came to that realization about the paradox of life while I was having psychosis. So, like, in terms of the volume level, I was at 10 out of 10. Like, my experience of life at that time was so heightened. You know, not only was I mentally ill and experiencing the absolute heights of emotion, both negative and positive, combined with the intellectual, paradoxical, no belief is true Jed McKenna ideology. It just made a fucking. I thought I was like Indiana Jones. I seriously thought I was Indiana Jones. I really did. It felt like I was in a movie, and I didn't know what psychosis was. Maybe if I had the information about what psychosis was, it wouldn't have happened. I honestly think that. I didn't know what psychosis was. I thought schizophrenia and psychosis was like you see in the movies, you know, like people that are seriously like just fucked up, like people that are severely you don't have to be severely mentally ill to have psychosis, because I wasn't severely mentally ill, but I had no idea what psychosis was, so I had no information. It's sort of like, you know, drugs. You know, if we didn't have the predisposition knowledge, the pre-knowledge to know that heroin is very hard to get off, everyone would probably be on heroin, because they'd try it, it would feel good, and they'd just keep doing it, and then they're addicted to heroin. But if you know that heroin is bad for you and it's hard to stop, most people just don't do it unless they're in suicidal, I guess. You know, I wouldn't recommend drugs to anyone, really. You got to stay away from them. And sometimes when you take drugs in life, it forces you to take pharmaceutical drugs to cope with life. That's just a fact. That's just reality. So if you want to take drugs, be prepared to take them forever, because you probably will have to take some form of drug forever if you start taking drugs, any drugs. You know, drugs are a booby prize. You know, they're not. Drugs aren't the answer to life. Like drugs are what are required to live with life once you use them. But you got to stay. But I would recommend you stay away from them. Anyway, I think that's where I'll leave this talk. Thanks for watching this video. We shot it at 50 frames per second, 2500 ISO, 1.4 f, Canon 24mm. Just got a bare bones setup. I didn't put my monitor on or anything like that. And do I have a polar? Oh yeah, there's a polar on too. So technically 2 stops down, which is probably why I had to go the higher ISO. But anyway, let's just adjust the polar before we end. Is anything happening? I am adjusting the polar. I am currently adjusting the polar, which can bring colors out of the image more, make it more duller, remove reflections, stuff like that. That's what a polar can do. Bye bye.